you should do a live workshop virtually, not you can do them in person, but virtually you can talk to people all over the world. And it's so easy to do. You could just open your computer, they open theirs, and here we are. Here we are in a live virtual event right now with Chuck, right? So I believe that they beat Evergreen every time in the sense that they give you that chance to have connection.
Well,
Okay.
let me introduce you to Janelle Anderson. By the way, no relationship, but a awesome human to learn from. She's going to be sharing workshops that win clients, open the floodgates of consistent client and cash flow with one simple system. Janelle, the virtual events visionary, empowers coaches and experts to host high converting workshops that drive consistent clients and cash flow. And her proven system has enabled many to build thriving six-figure businesses. A professional certified coach, she is also an 8-time best-selling author and renowned speaker. And I will just say that everything that she's going to teach you right now is what I do to build my business: webinars and workshops and in JV partners and all of that kind of stuff. So Janelle, over to you. The next 25 minutes is yours.
All right. Thanks, Chuck, for that introduction. Hi, everybody. I am bringing up the end here, aren't I? So I hope you enjoy this next half hour with me. I am so excited to be able to share this with you. Make sure I bring up my correct screen. There we go. Awesome. So we are going to be, are you seeing just the slide? Are you seeing my are you seeing
Yeah,
just
I
the
see it says workshops that win clients.
Yeah. Okay. Not my stuff underneath. Okay. Wonderful. No. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about for the next 25 minutes or so here. I'm curious out there, how many of you wave at me or put yes in the chat if you've ever felt like you are always chasing after clients and you're looking for them everywhere and you can't figure out where the heck are they? Are they under that rock or behind that tree? Where are they anyway? I know I felt that way for about 6 years, the first 6 years of my business. So, you're posting endlessly probably on social media every single day, and you are out there, you are networking maybe, and you are emailing people and you're doing all this stuff, but you're hoping your phone rings, you're hoping you get people on your calendar, and those clients just aren't showing up, and you're expecting them to just show up at the door because you hung a sign saying, "Hey, I'm a coach." And it's not happening. That is a common problem a lot of coaches have. So what if instead you could actually turn on a steady faucet of clients and cash every single month without burning out on social media and without fiddling around with making your website perfect and it's not converting anyway? So here's the truth. The fastest path for a coach, especially if you're just starting out, is not a fancy funnel. It's not even a website. It's not social media strategy all the time. Those things are good and they have their place, but the fastest path to cash is a live virtual workshop that you hold every month. I call it a client enrollment workshop. It's a type of workshop that's finely tuned and designed to be, like Chuck says, the front door to your business. And it's not an evergreen that's pre-recorded, although that has its place too. But the reason why I say you should do a live workshop virtually, not you can do them in person, but virtually you can talk to people all over the world. And it's so easy to do. You could just open your computer, they open theirs, and here we are. Here we are in a live virtual event right now with Chuck, right? So I believe that they beat Evergreen every time in the sense that they give you that chance to have connection. People are craving connection and they're craving authenticity. This is what they come to events for. Every time I do a poll and I ask my people, why do you come to events? They always tell me because I want to connect and I want to learn something. So that's what people are looking for. So when you do and you host a live virtual workshop every single month, one that's focused, one that's engaging, and it's designed to enroll new clients. It's a client enrollment workshop, not just a place you teach, but you enroll them into your program. That can become the engine that fuels your entire business. It lets you interact with people. It lets them ask questions. It lets them share their wins. It lets them have an experience with you right there on the spot. You build rapport, which builds trust, and people buy when they trust. It also creates massive visibility for you because you're consistently showing up every single month with an event. And people start seeing that and they get used to seeing that and they invite other people. And then you have something you can promote with your partners because it's something you do every single month. So you get in front of new people every month. So put in the chat just one word. What do you think your ideal clients are craving right now? What do you think they are craving right now? And I got to see if I can see the chat box here. What are they craving? One word. What do you think your audience needs and is craving? Is it clarity? Is it confidence? Rich said hope. Awesome. Hope. Is it momentum? Is it more money? Calmness. Yeah. Prosperity. What is it they're hoping for and looking for? That's what you can provide for them in a monthly workshop. And once you have this thing dialed in, you don't have to keep recreating the wheel. It's rinse and repeat. So I want to tell you just a little bit about me. I started off 11 years ago in my coaching business, and I started hosting small in-person workshops at my local library because I thought, well, what's a better way to just connect with people and get in front of them face to face than bring them together and talk about something and interact with them. And this picture on the left was me doing a workshop at the library called How to Talk to Anyone. And it actually got the attention of the local newspaper who sent a reporter and a photographer. And so I got extra publicity for it. It was fabulous. And I filled the room with introverts who didn't have confidence in just having conversations. And so we had a really fun time. It was great. And I did that every month. I had a workshop every month, but I did make a lot of mistakes. And I had a different topic every month and I wasn't converting them very well. I could fill the room. People loved it, but I wasn't converting very well. Then COVID came and I went totally online and I was really excited because I thought, oh, now I can reach people all over the world. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to rent a room or any of that stuff. And so people started showing up and they'd be telling me in the chat, they'd say, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is exactly what I needed. This is great. Thank you, Janelle. And then we would close the event and it was crickets. Nobody would sign up or hardly anybody. People weren't jumping into my offer or I didn't have an offer. And so it was so frustrating because I knew that my workshops were powerful. I knew that. And I knew that what I had to offer them as a coach was transformational, but something was missing in my workshops. But I knew that this was a key. This was I had a strategy that could work because it was bringing people to me, but there was something missing. And I looked around, I saw other people hosting events online and making thousands and thousands of dollars. And I thought, what's their secret? I get people in the room and they love it, but they're not buying. They're not stepping into the next thing with me, right? So I became a student again and I studied. I studied every successful event host, went to their events, watched what they did. I joined a mastermind where I began to work behind the scenes on major event teams. And so I started learning the formula, the secret that I was missing. I learned how they filled their rooms, how they engaged with their audience, and how they transitioned effortlessly with ease right into their offer. And people were buying their offers and jumping in and working with them, and they were making money and getting clients. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to apply this formula. And I did, and everything changed. People didn't just come to the event, but they started enrolling in my programs. They started saying, yes, Janelle, yes, I need this. I want this. And my business took off. Suddenly I had a consistent flow of clients and cash. And now I get to help other coaches do the same thing, to build thriving businesses powered just by that one simple, repeatable system, the monthly client enrollment workshop. So what makes a workshop a client enrollment workshop, you ask? I'm glad you asked that. I'm going to share with you my clients framework. It's an acronym, stands for clients. And as I'm sharing this with you, I want you to put in the chat as I kind of walk through this briefly right now, which one of these, it's an acronym, so the letters CLIENTS, which one of these do you think is the most important step in the whole thing? And put that in the chat and I will reveal which one it is when I get to it. Which one do you think? So the C is clarify. Clarify your vision for your workshop. L is leverage your irresistible offer. I, integrate engaging content. E is excite and attract your audience. N, navigate your tech and your team behind the scenes. T is turn attendees into clients. And S is systemize and scale for growth. Which one do you think? I see all these letters popping up. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these pretty quickly because I don't have a lot of time. I don't have time to dive deep into each step of this framework, but no worries, because at the end, I have a special gift for you. I have a guidebook. It's an ebook that walks you through each step of this framework that you can sit there with and take your time with and dive deep into each step. So you're going to get that at the end here. So no worries as I fly through each one of these steps. All right. So the first one is clarify your vision. What do I mean by that? Well, you need to get laser clear on 3 things: the goal of your workshop, the audience, and the one thing. I call it the one thing principle, the one thing that you want your audience to walk away with. So you need to know what your goal is. How many leads do you want? How many sales do you want? What is your goal for this workshop? Are you doing it to make money? Are you doing it to build your audience or your list? Are you doing it to just get credibility? What's it for? And then who's the audience? Who should be in the room? Who exactly? What stage of journey are they on? What is their urgent need or problem that they want to solve? Why would they come to this particular workshop? You have to be super clear on this. And then the one thing that they'll walk away with at the end of your workshop. Many people miss this. I call it the one thing principle. One of the mistakes we make is we overstuff our audience. We give people too much. Just think of one thing. What would be one thing your audience could walk away with that would make them feel like, wow, that was worth my hour, hour and a half, however long your workshop is? A breakthrough, an aha moment, an insight. That one thing is going to set up your offer. So less is more. Pick that one outcome that matters the most, and then you're going to design your content to get them to that one breakthrough. So throw in the chat, what's one outcome your ideal attendee would need from you? Just type it in a short phrase or a couple words. What would be one thing your audience would love to walk away from at the end of your workshop? I'm going to move on to L as you're thinking about that. So L is leverage your irresistible offer. Your workshop is the front door, right? It's the front door to you. It's where they first meet you and they step into your house, as it were, into your party, into your program, into your world. That workshop is the front door. They come in and then you give them content, you teach them something, you engage with them, and then you make an offer. And that offer is the bridge from your workshop content to your paid program. It's the bridge that leads them from where they are right now to your program, which is going to give them what they are looking for. But you can't give them the answer to their problem or the big transformation that they're looking for in a workshop. You can't. But you can introduce it, give them a great experience with you and a one thing breakthrough at the end, and then your offer bridges from the workshop to working with you. So think of your offer as the bridge, and it's super important. It is needs to be designed first. That's why it's really at the top of this framework. Before you ever think about what's going to be in your workshop, what you're going to say, what you're going to talk about, you need to be really clear on the offer. At the end of your workshop, what are you offering? What are you inviting them into? So get clear on that, and it needs to be the natural next step. So whatever they come to the workshop for, you give them that content that gives them that one breakthrough, but then what's the next step? That's the offer. That's the bridge. And so everything you teach in your workshop needs to lead to that. And remember, it's an invitation, not a sales pitch. So you come up with that first. What is that next step for them? And then when you get to the end of teaching your content, you can say, Today, you started here in that one step, right? That one breakthrough, that topic that you're talking about with them. We started here. We did a little work here. But if you join my program, then we're going to complete it together so that you don't get stuck. We're going to do the work together around this thing we started today. So you see how your content needs to lead naturally right to that offer. One of my clients, John, when he first started working with me, was transitioning from being a counselor to a coach. And he had no idea what his program would be as a coach. He didn't know how to put one together. He didn't know what his offer would be. He was like, I just want to coach people. I don't know what to put into it. Can't I just invite people into coaching? And I'm like, well, people don't buy coaching. They buy a solution to their problem. They buy a transformation. So you need to put together a program that shows them the benefits, the results. What are they going to get from working with you? So we worked on that, and he dialed it in and put it out there. The next time he met with a potential client, made his offer and enrolled his first 10K client. So it's so important to have this offer dialed in and know exactly what it is. So put in the chat, what would be the natural next step? What would be the next step for your attendees? And earlier, I asked you which step did you think was the most important one, and this is it. Whoever put L in the chat was right. You win a prize. Why? This is where you make your money. You have to have an offer, and the offer needs to be the bridge from the workshop to your program. Because if you don't have the offer, you're going to do like I did. You're going to share a lot of great information, interact with people, and all of that's great. And they're going to leave thinking, oh, wow, that was fun. But then you didn't get any clients out of it, right? You're not growing your audience or your program or your client list or your business because you don't have an offer. You have to have something for them to step into. So this is the one step that's the most important. Everything else gets designed based on this. All right, next is I, integrate engaging content. Once people are there in front of you, you want to keep them engaged and interested and interacting with you, right? So don't just talk at them, talk with them. One mistake I see is that people run an event and they just talk. They show their PowerPoint and they just talk at people, and then they give an offer and they end it, and they've never engaged at all. They've just given their information like out of a script or their PowerPoint or whatever. So make sure that you're involving the people in the room with you in what you're doing. Help them shape your event. Ask them questions. Have them put stuff in the chat, right? Do a poll. Have them do a little breakout. Go do an exercise. Do a hot seat kind of demo with them. Get them involved because people love that. They come, remember I said they come for connection. They come to be seen, they come to be heard, and this is how you do it. And you keep them engaged. And on top of that, they're going to take the content you're teaching and they're going to absorb it and digest it and have that breakthrough that you want them to have because you've allowed them to be a part of the experience with you. And then they're going to be more likely to sign up for your program or your offer. One of my clients, Karen, once she nailed her content, this engagement piece, and shared her story and got the flow down and got away from her script and started really interacting with people, getting them asking questions, getting them involved in the chat and all that. She opened everything up. She started every time. Now she does a monthly workshop. She started enrolling clients every month because she got this engagement piece down. Each piece of this formula is really important. So the next one, excite and attract your audience. Okay, so you have your offer and you figured out your content, what you're going to teach when, how you're going to interact with people, but you got to get them in the room, right? How many people know you got to get them in the room? So think about your promoting of your event as not just one post, but it's actually a campaign. Filling the room is a campaign, not a post. Write that down because I've heard so many people say, oh, well, I posted on social media, so I'm expecting everybody to come, and then they're mystified when nobody signs up. Because it's more than a post. You have to have a campaign. You need to plan a promotional campaign. So start planning it ahead of time. Give yourself a leeway there. Get a promotional calendar going, right? And create a buzz beforehand. Before you even launch the actual campaign, create a buzz. Start telling people, hey, this thing is coming. Save the date. I'm going to give you a sneak peek here about what I'm going to be doing. Get them excited so that when the doors open to register, they've been waiting for it, right? And your title and subtitle is a part of this. It needs to be specific. It needs to give a promise. What's the result? What's the outcome? What's that major breakthrough they're going to have? Why should they come? So really work on a really sharp results-driven title and subtitle. And ChatGPT AI can help you with that in a great way. And you can even test it out with people, and you can do there's a headline analyzer tool that there's a lot of them out there. You can put your title out there and see what kind of score you get. They're looking for emotional words and action words and results, things like that. And then another thing that a lot of people don't do, but it's super powerful to get people to come, is to invite them directly. Yes, email campaigns. Yes, social media. Yes, JV partners, but also start reaching out to people with direct messages and texts and phone calls. That gets people's attention nowadays more than anything else, right? We are inundated by all these blasts, these campaign blasts and all the stuff on social media, right? But when somebody calls us or texts us and reminds us and says, oh, I'm so glad you're coming, or hey, I'd love to see you come to this event. I think it'd be super good for you. This is what we're going to do. This is what you're going to get. That really helps to boost the show up rate in a big, big way. You can also offer bonuses, create some urgency, like we're going to have a early bird ticket price, or bring a friend and you get something for free. This event is happening next week, so you don't have much time. Like, really create that urgency. The best way to do that is to not promote it further out than, I'd say, 14 days, 10 days is even better. And you might say, like, why? Why so soon? Because people don't make up their mind to the last minute anyway. And if you promote it too early, they're going to forget. Except a bigger event, you can do a little bit earlier. You can do it earlier. But a workshop, like an hour and a half to 2 hours, I don't start sending out my launch promotional stuff until 10 days before. 2 weeks max, right? Because people will forget. So one of my clients, Susan, she had hosted events before, but she struggled getting people in the room, especially the right people. So we worked on her promotional strategy using a lot of these techniques and more that I don't have time to tell you about. But anyway, she ended up getting the right people in the room, and they were engaged, highly engaged, and she actually converted 2 new clients at a 10K offer right then and there. So that was super powerful. And before that, she was like, I'm done doing events because they don't work. We did that one. She's like, oh my gosh, they work. So now she's got the formula and now she knows how to do it. So she's going to do more and get better and better results, right? All right, so that's E. Then N is navigating tech and team. This is one thing people really get stuck in. If you're just starting off, and put in the chat, how many of you are doing workshops? Anybody doing monthly workshops or webinars, masterclasses, things like that? Put yes in the chat if you're already doing online virtual events. Good, awesome. Yes, of course, Chuck. If you're new at this, keep it simple. All the speakers are saying yes, of course. Keep it simple. Use Zoom. Zoom's the best platform because everybody knows it, right? I mean, everybody's familiar with it. It's got everything you need. You need a registration page so people get on your list when they register, and then that kicks off some emails to remind them. So you need that kind of technology, a registration page, and a way to email people and remind them. If you can text them, it's even better. And then in the event itself, I highly recommend that you have a room or a tech host with you, letting people in, dropping your links, all the things that you don't want to think about as a host. And you could actually have a friend do this for you. And I know Robin's doing that here for Chuck, and it's invaluable actually to have that person in the room. They are your chat angel, right? They are your tech angel. And you can have a couple people in the room, one maybe doing the tech part and the other one's just like chatting with people and keeping people engaged in the chat and things like that. So at least have one person. And I also recommend that you do a rehearsal with a couple of friends, get them on the Zoom call, run through your stuff, get some people in the room with you, because that way you haven't, the first time you do it is not in front of your audience. You really want to get the words out and kind of go through your flow and get feedback and feel comfortable, like you know how everything's running. If you've never done an event before, do a rehearsal. Confidence on camera comes from preparation behind the scenes, off camera. When you're prepared, you are going to be a lot more confident. So do a dry run. And then T is after the event, follow up. Fortune's in the follow up. Make it within 24 hours. Make sure you have some follow-up emails that are continuing to make the offer. Give them a deadline. This offer is going to be done in 3 days. Jump in now. Get this bonus if you jump in now. Those kinds of things that create that urgency. So a follow-up email campaign. But what's even better is get on the phone with some of these people, especially the people that showed up and engaged a lot with you in the event. Save your chat, look through the chat, see who talked a lot, what they were saying, because you're going to miss most of that as you're hosting. But you can look at it later and you can say, oh, this person was really engaged. Why didn't they sign up? Reach out to them, call them, or text them. Do you know how special that is for people? You're not bothering them. They're going to be honored. When I have done this, people are like, oh, you called me? Oh my gosh. It means a lot to them. And you can just say, tell me what you liked about the event. And I'm curious why you didn't sign up. You'd be perfect. And then you'll find out more about them. Maybe they just lost track of time, or they lost the link, or who knows. Maybe after you talk to them, they're going to be like, you know what? Because you called me, I want to get into this. I want to jump in. So you can actually make sales after your workshop. Don't give up and don't shut down your workshop and say, oh, well, nobody signed up or only one person signed up. You can do some follow-ups. And also, even if they don't sign up right then, that follow-up is going to become golden for you, because they're going to be more likely to come the next time, or sign up for something later, or follow you, all that kind of stuff. So keeping in touch with them afterwards, make sure you have a nice plan for that as well. And then when you're in the call with people, get them excited about your offer, and when the emotion's high, and get them signed up right then and there. So that's how you turn attendees into clients after the fact. And then our last one is systemize and scale. Now, this is a step many people skip, but it is the one that makes your workshop become the engine for your business. What happens is a lot of times coaches will say, oh, well, that didn't go very well. I only had 5 people in the room. Nobody signed up. So I think I'll just scrap it and start all over. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because there might be just one thing you need to tweak. There might be a couple things you need to tweak. So let's look at your numbers. Let's go in and see how many people did you have registered? How many people showed up? What was your promotion strategy like? What was your landing page conversion like? Let's look at those metrics. Let's look at the numbers. Let's see where we need to tweak. Maybe it's your title. Maybe it's the copy on the landing page, right? So many different pieces to this. Also get feedback. In part of that follow-up system, you can send them a little feedback survey and incentivize them and say, hey, if you fill this out for me, I'm going to give them some kind of freebie, and get some feedback from people that came, and then tweak and refine. And I recommend you just tweak one thing at a time, so you don't go crazy. Maybe it's your title, maybe it's the promise, maybe it's your emails. Try one thing and rinse and repeat. Remember, this is a monthly thing. And what the idea is behind this client enrollment workshop formula is that the more you do it, the more you refine it and tweak it and make it better and better and better, so that it becomes that financial engine, because now you've got people coming and you've got people jumping into your offer and you've got it down. You've learned how to do it. All right. So that's the formula. So imagine getting in front of 10, 20, or 50 new potential ideal clients every single month. Every month. I run one every month. I get new people every month. So I'm in front of new people every month. How great would that be? Now I want to give you some math. What can that do for you? So let's do the math. Let's say every month you're offering just a $500 program. Now notice these numbers are low. You can raise these numbers, right? But I'm starting low. Let's say you offer a $500 course and you're running it your workshop every month. This is your offer. You get 2 people every month. And so every month you're making $1,000. Okay. $1,000 times 12 months is 12K. Now, let's say every month one of those new people joins your higher program that's 5,000. So every month you're making not only the 1,000 from the $500 program you're selling, but now one of those every month is jumping into your higher program. And let's say it's 5,000. And so every month you're making another 5,000, which comes to 60K times 12. So that's over 70K a year just from running a monthly workshop with just a few people jumping in. And of course, you could raise the price of your offer. You could raise the number of people that are coming. You could raise the number of people that are buying, and all this can go up. But I just wanted to give you like typical low numbers, especially just starting off, what's possible for you just from a monthly workshop, and then how that could grow your business. So here's the formula again. And it's a single finely tuned monthly workshop that could fuel your whole business. Clarify, leverage, integrate, excite, navigate, turn, and scale. The one-word keywords to help you remember this formula. Clarify a precise promise, leverage a truly irresistible offer, integrate engaging interactive content, excite and attract people, get them there, navigate that tech and team, get that down so it's smooth and you're operating it without stress. Turn those attendees into clients, and then systemize and scale and make it better and better and more profitable every month. So you don't need to be everywhere. You just need one live event every month that can open the floodgates and create a consistent client and cash flow for your business. And you literally can build a 6-figure coaching business using just this one event. I know, because I've done it. And of course, you're going to have higher offers and other things going on, but this is like the core. This is the front door, right? So when you follow this framework, your workshop stops being just another event. It becomes an engine that drives your business. So I told you at the beginning, I was going to race through this formula, which I did, but my gift to you today is you are going to get my guidebook called Workshops That Win Clients. It's a 30+ page ebook that is going to walk you through this whole framework in much more detail. You can look over it whenever you want, take your time with it. But a bonus to this, when you download this today, you're going to get, after you download it, you're going to get a free ticket to my virtual events bootcamp, a 3-day event in November where we're going to take this framework and walk through it together step by step. So by the end of the 3 days, you will actually have your workshop blueprint created. You'll have your promotional plan. You'll have your offer worked out, what your content's going to be like, and so much more. So when you get this free ebook, you're going to get a free ticket. It's normally $47. I'm giving you a free ticket to come to my event in November. So, whew, that was a mouthful. I feel like I was racing through that. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of that. Oh my gosh.